Hello everyone, welcome to the channel The Vietnam World 360 Degrees. In part 4, we learned how the feudal period in Vietnam flourished and became powerful under the late dynasty. With the assistance of the Qing lords, the late dynasty was able to restore their reign. However, they still faced many difficulties. And in today's video, we will continue to explore the history of feudal Vietnam
during the revival L dynasty and the Tay Son Rebellion Nguyen dynasty.
Lord Bao of Tuyên Quang abandoned the late dynasty and allied with the remnants of the Ngoc dynasty. Therefore, Trinh Tùng summoned Nguyen Hue to assist. Despite fighting for 8 years, Nguyen Hue could not defeat the Ngoc forces. Eventually, he escaped to the south by sea and did not return. In 1611, due to continuous disturbances by the Champa forces along the border, Nguyen Hue sent troops to suppress them. Champa was quickly defeated, and this area was later established as Phu Yên Prefecture. 2 years later, Nguyen Hue passed away, and his son Nguyễn Phúc Nguyên succeeded him. In 1623, Trinh Tùng died, and his son Trinh Tráng succeeded him. In 1627, Trinh Tráng led 200,000 land and naval troops to the south to attack the Nguyen. For 46 years, the Trinh and Nguyen forces fought without a decisive victory. Eventually, they established the Dang River as a boundary, dividing Đại Việt into 2 regions. Both Dang Trong south and Dang Ngoại north had competing rulers who stabilized their territories for over 100 years. In Dang Ngoại, in 1677, the Trinh forces attacked the Ngoc dynasty. The Ngoc were defeated, marking the end of their rule. In 1679, the territory of Lord Bao was officially incorporated into the late Trinh lands. In Dang Trong, the Nguyen focused on expanding their territory to the south and west. In 1658, the king of the kingdom of Chen Lap died, leading to a power struggle among his descendants. They sought assistance from Lord Nguyen. Lord Nguyen sent troops to Dong Nai province, captured the king, and brought him back to be imprisoned in Quảng Bình. Later, he was released and sent back to his kingdom, but he was required to submit and pay tribute to the Nguyen. In 1679, another 3,000 Minh soldiers, along with 50 ships carrying Chinese officials and civilians, arrived at the shores of Vietnam. These people, not loyal to the Minh dynasty, crossed the sea to seek land and citizenship from Lord Nguyen. Lord Nguyen agreed and allowed them to settle in the Gia Định area, where they farmed, built houses, and established streets and neighborhoods. In 1693, Lord Nguyen officially annexed the remaining part of the kingdom of Champa into Đại Việt, but still allowed the Cham people to have autonomous governance in their region. During this period, Lord Nguyen organized the migration and exploitation of islands such as the Spratly Islands, Trường Sa, Purcell Islands, Hoàng Sa, Côn Đảo, and Phú Quốc. By the mid-18th century, successive kings of the kingdom of Chen Lap voluntarily ceded land to Lord Nguyen. This was done either to seek peace, to seek recognition of their rule, or to show gratitude for assistance. During this period, both Dang Trong, inner realm, and Dang Ngoại, outer realm, continued to develop and expand their territory of Đại Việt. However, by the end of the 18th century, due to the laziness and indulgence of the Trinh and Nguyen lords, state affairs were neglected, causing the government to become increasingly weak. Rebellions rose everywhere, and the people's discontent grew. Numerous peasant uprisings broke out across the country. In 1771, 3 brothers from the Tay Son family, Nguyen Nhac, Nguyen Lu, and Nguyen Hue, launched a rebellion against the Nguyen lords, capturing the city of Quy Nhơn to establish their base. The Tay Son brothers were brave and often took from the rich to give to the poor, earning them the admiration and support of many people. The Nguyen lords were unable to defeat them, and before long, the territory from Quảng Ngãi to Bình Thuận fell under the Tay Son control. In the north, upon hearing the news, Lord Trinh immediately sent troops to attack the Nguyen lords, capturing the Thuận Hóa region. Nguyen Nhac led his forces to attack the Nguyen in the south, seizing Quảng Nam. In 1775, Trinh forces advanced to attack the Tay Son in Quảng Nam. Seeing that he could not withstand them, Nguyen Nhac sought to make peace with the Trinh forces. He also requested to be appointed as the vanguard general to fight against the Nguyen Lu's forces in Gia Định. By 1777, under the command of Nguyen Hue, the Tay Son forces defeated the Nguyen forces in the south, though Nguyễn Phúc Ánh managed to escape. A year later, Nguyen Nhac declared himself king, establishing the Tay Son dynasty, adopting the era name Thái Đức, and setting the capital at Trinh-Nguyen, thus no longer being bowed to Lord Trinh. Nguyễn Ánh, after many unsuccessful attempts to seek help from the French, turned to Siam, modern-day Thailand, for assistance. At that time, Siam was flourishing and prepared both naval and ground forces to attack the Tay Son. The Tay Son king then ordered Nguyen Hue to lead troops and set up an ambush. In January 1785, the Siamese army brought 5,000 naval troops to invade Đại Việt. However, they fell into Nguyen Hue's ambush, resulting in a decisive victory for the Tay Son forces. Most of the Siamese soldiers were killed or captured, and Nguyễn Ánh and the remaining Siamese troops had to flee. At this time, the Qing forces in the north were weakened and in turmoil. Nguyễn Hue decided to march his army to Thăng Long, modern-day Hanoi, to eliminate the Qing, under the pretext of supporting the Lê dynasty and destroying the Qing. Nguyễn Hue quickly advanced to Thăng Long. The Qing lord, terrified, fled but was captured by the people and handed over to Nguyễn Hue. Nguyễn Hue entered Thăng Long and transferred power to King Lê Hiển Tông. He was married to the king's daughter, but in reality, he held full military authority in the outer region. In 1786, King Lê Hiển Tông passed away, and Nguyễn Hue arranged for Lê Duy Ký to ascend the throne, becoming King Lê Chiêu Thống. Then, the Tay Son brothers withdrew to the south. However, later, the three Tay Son brothers fell out. In 1787, Nguyen Nhac proclaimed kingship for his two younger brothers, assigning each to govern a separate region. Nguyen Nhac declared himself the central emperor, establishing his capital in Quy Nhơn. He appointed Nguyen Lu to govern the Gia Định region, and Nguyễn Hue to govern the area from the Hai Vinh Pass northward. In 1787, Nguyễn Ánh led his forces from Siam to attack the southern region of Vietnam. Nguyen Nhac, frightened, retreated, allowing Nguyễn Ánh to capture the southern region. In May 1788, King Lê Chiêu Thống sought assistance from the Qing dynasty. Emperor Qian Long, seizing the opportunity to invade Đại Việt, Vietnam, ordered Xuân Shi Yi to lead 290,000 troops to escort King Lê Chiêu Thống and attack Đại Việt. In the north, the Tay Son forces proactively withdrew their troops, awaiting orders from Nguyễn Hue. The Qing forces quickly captured Thăng Long. At the same time in the south, Nguyễn Ánh had successfully taken control of Nam Bộ, the southern region of Vietnam. Nguyễn Nhac, recognizing the dire situation, abdicated the throne in favor of Nguyễn Hue and sought his assistance to combat Nguyễn Ánh. Nguyễn Hue realized that the northern threat was more pressing, so he decided to advance his troops northward first. He justified this move by stating that King Lê had abandoned the country, inviting the enemy into the palace, which garnered significant support from soldiers and officials to fight against the enemy. In December 1789, he ascended to the throne as Emperor Quang Trung and led his troops north to combat the Qing enemy. Within just 6 days, in a blaze of swift and decisive battles, Nguyễn Hue's forces swiftly defeated the 290,000-strong Qing army and marched into Thăng Long, Hanoi. Tôn Sĩ Nghị and King Lê Chiêu Thống had to flee back to China. Afterward, he normalized relations with the Qing dynasty and was recognized by them as the victorious king of Đại Việt. Quang Trung returned to Phú Xuân, Huế, to concentrate his forces for an offensive against Nguyễn Ánh. He delegated military authority to trusted generals and officials. In 1792, he decided on a major campaign to eradicate Nguyễn Ánh power at its roots. But while the plan was being prepared, on September 16, 1792, King Quang Trung fell ill and passed away. His young son, Nguyễn Quang Toản, succeeded him, but without effective leadership, the Tay Son dynasty quickly weakened. Nguyễn Ánh seized the opportunity and led his troops to attack Thăng Long in 1802. King Quang Toản could not resist, fled, was captured, and killed, marking the end of the Tay Son dynasty. For the first time in nearly 300 years of internal strife and division, Vietnam was unified. Nguyễn Ánh ascended to the throne, taking the title Gia Long and established the Nguyen dynasty, naming the country Vietnam. Emperor Gia Long of the Nguyen dynasty had to make many decisions to lay the foundation for a vast territory under his rule, stretching from the north to the south. During this time, the presence of the Western powers was noted. However, Nguyen Anh did not accept the demands of the French missionaries. In 1820, King Nguyen Anh passed away at the age of 59, and his son Nguyen Phúc Đàm ascended the throne, taking the title Minh Mac. King Minh Mac was intelligent, studious, dynamic, and decisive. Since his accession, he carefully considered all matters within the court, emphasizing education, talent recruitment, and strict punishment for corrupt officials. In 1831, Minh Mac initiated significant administrative reforms, dividing the country into 31 provinces, establishing them as unified administrative units throughout the nation. During this period, many regions saw uprisings against the dynasty, prompting the kings to personally lead military campaigns to suppress them. In 1835, Minh Mac sent troops to Phnom Penh to capture King Nguyen Nhac, establishing Tay Thành as a stronghold and expanding the territory southward into what is now part of Cambodia. In 1839, Minh Mac changed the country's name from Vietnam to Đại Nam. After a year, the king fell seriously ill and passed away at the age of 50. Prince Nguyễn Phúc Minh Tông succeeded to the throne, taking the title of King Thiệu Trị. He was a gentle ruler who maintained the governance practices established during the reign of Minh Mac. Upon ascending the throne, there were many disturbances caused by ambitious officials abusing power. Therefore, he decided to abandon Nguyen Nhac and withdrew troops to focus on maintaining peace in An Giang. In 1847, King Thiệu Trị passed away at the age of 41. Prince Nguyen Nhac ascended the throne and took the reign named Tự Đức. He was indecisive and weak in governing the country. He enacted laws banning trade, leading to a weak economy, agriculture, industry, and the military did not develop and became backward. Meanwhile, science and industry around the world were advancing rapidly. France used the reasons that the Nguyen dynasty did not respond to their diplomatic letter in 1856, which they felt disrespected, and the pretext of protecting and spreading Christianity to launch an attack on Đại Nam. On September 1st, 1858, a Franco-Spanish coalition of approximately 3,000 soldiers and officials, along with 14 warships, attacked the port of Da Nang. France's scheme was to capture Da Nang and then advance to Hue to force the court to surrender and quickly end the war. However, due to being unaccustomed to the climate and the fierce resistance of the people of Đại Nam, the Franco-Spanish coalition was trapped on the Sơn Trà Peninsula for 5 months. Spain withdrew its troops, and when France saw that further advancement was impossible, they moved their forces to attack Zadig. On February 17th, France opened fire on Zadig citadel. The Nguyen army quickly responded, but the French still faced fierce resistance from the local forces, forcing them to burn down Zadig citadel. In February 1871, France launched an attack on Đại Đồng Chí Hòa. The army and people of Đại Nam fought valiantly, but were ultimately defeated. Seizing the opportunity, the French army expanded their invasion around Zadig citadel. In 1862, the Nguyen court was forced to sign the Treaty of Nhâm Tuất with France. As a result, they ceded the 3 eastern provinces of southern Vietnam to France and the island of Con Lon, and agreed to pay war reparations of 4 million silver coins over 10 years, as well as open the ports of Da Nang, Ba Lat, and Quảng Yên for trade. Despite the court's surrender and the cession of the 3 eastern provinces, uprisings by the people continued, using the pretext that the court was colluding with these rebel organizations. France went on to occupy the 3 western provinces of southern Vietnam. In November 1872, a French merchant unauthorized sailed his trading ship up the Red River to Yunnan for trade without Đại Nam's permission. Đại Nam demanded that France arrest this merchant for violating the Treaty of Nhâm Tuất. In November 1873, France quickly seized the opportunity and sent troops to the north, attacking Hanoi. Not long after, Hanoi fell, and France sent troops to occupy the provinces in the Red River Delta. Although the Imperial Army disbanded, the people in Hanoi continued to fight. In 1874, the court was forced to sign the Treaty of Zappet with France, which stipulated that France must withdraw its troops from the north, and the court recognized the 6 provinces of Cochin China as a French colony. It also recognized the freedom of movement and trade for the French in Đại Nam. In 1880, to counter the French, the court of Đại Nam sent Phạm Nhật Duật to seek assistance from the Qing dynasty. In 1882, France used the pretext that the Hue court had violated the treaty to send troops to the north. The French military commander arrived in Hanoi and sent an ultimatum to Governor Hoàng Diệu, demanding that he surrender and disarm within 3 hours. However, before the deadline expired, the French attacked the citadel. The Đại Nam forces quickly failed, and Hoàng Diệu sent a memorial to the Hue capital before committing suicide to avoid capture. In June 1882, Qing troops from Yunnan descended upon northern Đại Nam, stationing in Bắc Ninh and Sơn Tây to support Đại Nam's forces. After capturing Hanoi, the French divided their troops to seize the surrounding provinces. On July 17, 1883, taking advantage of Emperor Tuduc's death, the French attacked the capital Hue, forcing the court to surrender. On August 18, 1883, French forces entered the Thuận An estuary, demanding that the Hue court surrender and hand over all fortresses. On August 20th, French troops landed, and despite fierce resistance from Đại Nam forces, they were defeated by the superior French military strength. The French captured the Thuận An estuary, and under military pressure, the Hue court requested a ceasefire and agreed to sign the Hammond Treaty, 1883, and the Paternotte Treaty, 1884. As a result, Đại Nam was divided into 3 regions under French colonial rule. Despite the treaties, Đại Nam's military and civilians continued to fight alongside Qing forces against the French. The war between France and the Qing dynasty to vie for influence in northern Đại Nam took place and extended to Chinese waters. The Qing forces were defeated by the French, compelling them to sign a treaty in 1885 that recognized French protection over northern Đại Nam. Following these treaties, the Nguyen dynasty only managed the central region. Under a protectorate regime with no military, economic, or diplomatic autonomy, the Nguyen court was left only to handle ceremonial matters under French supervision. After nearly 465 years of independence since the victory of the Lam Sơn uprising, Đại Nam lost its sovereignty and came under colonial rule. Despite some remaining patriotic figures and movements attempting to resist the French, by the late 19th century, all uprisings were suppressed. During this period, the French colonialists proceeded to invade Laos and Cambodia, imposing their rule over all of Indochina.
Today's video ends here. In the next video, we will explore the lives of the Vietnamese people under French colonial rule and Japanese occupation, and how the Democratic Republic of Vietnam was formed. Please leave your thoughts about Vietnam during this period. Thank you for watching.